Hi, today we're going to talk about some common thinking traps and how to avoid them. Hi, I'm Emma Coble. I'm a licensed professional counselor and I work with clients in Colorado and in Florida. So, if you've noticed that your mind ever engages in going to the worst case scenario, engaging in black and white thinking, assuming what others might be thinking or feeling, or just focusing on your mistakes, you are probably caught in a thinking trap. And these are really common, and there are ways to change this and to recognize it and to be able to get ourselves out of them. So we'll talk about that today. But they can become very habitual and it can be really hard to recognize them. So we'll talk about that as well. Um, so the common ones that I see are some of the ones we just named. So this all or nothing thinking. So seeing things as completely good or completely bad. So if I screwed something up at work, I'm a failure. I'm a bad person. Overgeneralizing, assuming like one event that's happening means everything is gonna go wrong. So I made this one mistake and now I'm gonna get fired at work, for example. Also, mind reading, thinking you might know what others think, so they didn't text very much to me, so they hate me maybe. Catastrophizing, thinking only the worst case scenario is going to happen. Discounting all the positive, so for example, thinking about only the negative feedback maybe you get in a review versus all the positive glowing feedback you get as well. And then should statements. So I should always be productive every day. I should go to the gym, things like that, which is just not realistic for anyone. So we fall into thinking traps for a lot of different reasons. Oftentimes it can be influenced by critical parents, childhood trauma, bullying or exclusion, and we maybe developed a critical part to kind of cope with that and get out of those situations. Also, overwhelm and burnout can trigger this kind of thinking as a way to sort of simplify things for our brain. So, EMDR and mindfulness and IFS therapy are really helpful for these as well and can help you reprocess old memories, be able to identify these parts of you that engage in the thinking traps and help them relax back. So, high achievers also are very likely, all of us are, but high achievers as well, like engage in a lot of perfectionistic style thinking and comparison style thinking, constantly measuring ourselves against others and seeing the ways we don't feel like we're measuring up or we're not enough, and feel an over responsibility to do or take care of or be everything to everyone. So, how do we stop this? One is start to simply notice the pattern. So, notice yourself engaging in one of these. So, like, hey, I see I was just engaging in catastrophizing, like going from I made this mistake, I wrote something wrong in an email to I'm going to get fired. Okay, that is a thinking error. That's not the reality. Then asking, like, what else could be true? Like, is there maybe another option for our brains? So, noticing, like, what's the evidence that supports this? Like, do I have evidence that making a mistake in an email is going to get me fired? Hopefully, hopefully not. If a friend were in this situation, what would I tell them? Might there be another way to see this? So I made a mistake. I wrote something wrong in an email, and that's a human thing to do. Everyone does that, and that my job doesn't want to fire me. That would be a huge cost to them. They appreciate me. So then connect with the emotion that's beneath the thought. So oftentimes beneath these thoughts, there are fear is often a really common one that's here. There is this fear of like not being safe, of being rejected, of not being included. And so I just have some compassion with that emotion that is underneath. Be with that emotion rather than getting lost inside the thought spiral. EMDR can be a great place to reprocess the core beliefs that might be underneath these thought spirals as well. And then the last one is to practice compassionate self talk. So, practice saying, replacing some of those things of like, I should have done better with, I did the best I could. Like, replace them with the things a best friend would say to you or a loving parent would say to you. So if you do need help with this, feel free to reach out for a free consultation. Thanks for listening.